Hey, welcome YouTubers. HeapCVA again. Still playing 911 first responders, and I am so excited to have the Montana mod finally running back on my computer again. Keep your fingers crossed as I'm setting things up here that there's no crashes or other bad things that would cut into our video time here. I fixed a item that I don't know why my mind just didn't see the problem, and keep your fingers crossed that it does the trick. I love this mod. It's one of the few out there that's a volunteer fire department. They're really the only person you have is the paid chief and some volunteers and a lot of mutual aid and the local ambulance companies. A little early, but that's okay. We've got a patient down here, so we'll fire off with EMS first. And not one of the buildings I remember going to a lot. I guess it's in the game. My brain says I haven't paid attention. Fine. Well, as I get things set up, let's go ahead and pull one of the ambulances off of the menu, if you will, of fire apparatus and other goodies that come off of there. One thing I like about this mod is the ability of both the assistant chief or chief officer or supervisor, or whatever you want to call him, and all law enforcement to have the ability to call for help. That is pretty neat, and it saves some time in a little neighborhood like this where time is important because everything's spread so far apart. So I'm going to have to get acclimated to this mod all over again, because quite honestly, it's been a while since I've been able to play for any given length of time. And like I said, if we get some good footage out of this, you're gonna see this one a lot. And add to that the stuff I've heard that maybe, and you know, it could be like everything else. I mean, the people that are putting these things together have a life in addition to everything else they do. Is there's a rumor that they're going to update this, and that would be amazing. Not that I don't already like it, but I mean, if they add some more stuff to it, who wouldn't want to play this again and again? So that was a quick and easy. I love the ambulances in this, and sorry, I just had to say that right there because it was in my head. Like I said, it's been a while since I've been able to play this for any length of time. My fault. I will take responsibility. It's in the file that is part of the base file of the game, and it's part of the mod that you can do to get more view, both tilt and zoom in and out. And this particular game absolutely cannot handle much tilt, and so I went back to the base measurement, and we'll see what happens. You guys are getting this as I'm getting it. I didn't play a game before I tried out my change, and so I know there are some tricks to making things move slow here, and you know, we'll keep our fingers crossed as we play this game. It's kind of hard to work the mouse with some of my fingers crossed, but I'm willing to do it if we get some good gameplay out of it and some calls. So I'll take what I can get. Like I said, this is another one that, just like Northview, South County, one of my favorites. This reminds me a lot of where I lived up in the northern part of my state, and now things had to operate there because there were a lot of small volunteer fire departments, and brings back some memories if nothing else. So we've got another EMS call going. I did get this one dispatched without asking for the police officer to do it. I've used both them and the firefighter. Just depends on who's closer, really. They have to get out of their vehicle to do it. That's okay. But I'm trying to remind myself here, and I think I already messed it up a little bit. It's, if you can just give me one pass on that, is I forgot that the spine boards are available in this mod as well for traffic accident fall victims to stabilize their back, neck. So I just got to remember to do those things every once in a while. I don't think I needed to throw his med bag on the ground, but you know, again, a different mod and a different button combination, just enough to challenge my memory and have me forget. There are a whole lot of buttons for the police officers in this game if you wanted to use them. If you haven't already noticed, by most of the games I play, is I do have it set to fire and EMS only. That's my focus. It's been my focus for a long time in real life, and that's what I really like doing. I've thought about adding it to the game here and there.
Caused by a technical defect.
Hang on for a sec.
And if necessary, treat all casualties
Okay,
and take them away.
sweet. Sound that pager. Let's get rolling. Okay. See, one thing about a small place like this is everybody's got to do their piece. And nice stop for that car fire right on the tracks. Good thing here, seeing lots of volunteers show up. During the day, people work. There's as good an opportunity that you won't see people show up as there is to have an engine company full. So be nice to get somebody on scene as soon as we can. There goes this. In this game is Supervisor 1, I guess. He is a chief officer of some sort. Alright, so we got a good call in, volunteers to staff the engine. Me and the police officer arrived at the same time. One of the things you'll see a lot where I come from, whether it's in a small volunteer organization or the other part of my life in a larger city, was that police officers like to pull out the water extinguisher or powder extinguisher, depending on what they have, and put out car fires. And you know, it's just a fact of life, and I'll leave it at that. I'm not poking anybody in the eye over that. Trust me. So, but I think these guys will take care of this in quick fashion, which is good. And you know, I'm sure that my volunteers have other lives outside of this as well. So let's try to direct some traffic. I got a tow truck started. And, you know, you got to remind yourself there isn't as many incidents per given bit of time. Okay, we actually had more than the 4 that can staff that engine. Now I'm trying to remember what you do with the extras. Thanks for the money though, by the way. What do we do with them? I'll find out here in a minute. I'll remember. I know. I should know. Like I said, I was so
A
nervous
fire has been reported. Cause unknown.
getting this
Extinguish all
set up to
fires.
play because I thought I would have a problem, and so far so good. I guess that guy's just going to run away. So I didn't push the button the right way for him, and apparently sounding the alarm doesn't make them stay. Okay, fine. Like I said, the more videos I put out on this, the less mistakes I hope to make. So get them out of the way. Send our local law enforcement and our engine staff, so we're going to run it over here. This is a spot I don't see as often. I'll take whatever I can get, trust me. I don't think anybody else is going to show up. Should be happy with what you get. I'll set the alarm off again, but I'm not holding my breath. Come on. Right hand and brain coordinate and set the rigs up. So let's add a little bit of county to the mix. Which would be absolutely normal whether you're playing a game or in real life. In a small community like this, you've got to ask for help, and everybody relies on everybody else. There is no hydrants out here. Keep your fingers crossed. Okay, comes our brush patrol, which by the way is not LAFD. I'm pretty sure you already figured that out. I know there's a lot of water on their brush truck, so that's all good. The water tender got here just in the nick of time. Get these guys going. Come on. There you go. I wish there was a way to get the game to get the firefighter to chase the fire. Beaver County Fire. I had to think about that for a second. I could have just as well said something wrong. Like I said, you know, we are already at 16 minutes in a larger playing frame than I've been able to do for the most part since I downloaded the original mod and then installed the update.
Attention. There are reports of a fire, probably caused by a discarded cigarette. Extinguish
nice.
all fires.
Busy day with a staffed engine company. You can't beat that. All right. Get them ready. Get this one upset here. I didn't look to see where that was. Gotta remember it's HQ, not station. You use that tender a lot in this game. Had some different fires this time around. I like it. Let's go. Okay, we're downtown, I think. Yep, right in the middle of downtown. I wish I could close that map so you could see more of the screen, but you have to live off this off what you see in the map. Now I know I have a dispatcher, and what can she do? Water tender. It'd be nice if she could dispatch some things as well. See, I don't know why it says that, but that's okay. We have enough to do what we need to do, except they're not available yet. That's not going to help us out, nor is that. All right. Well, it's not a big fire yet. I appreciate that whoever did this mod didn't make it so everything is a slinger that catches fire. Ooh, forgot all about him. They don't seem to complain when you call them to every call, so I'll take them for whenever they're available. The worst thing that happens is you got to send them back home. So here comes our engine 1. Like I said, having 4-0 staffing, good thing. Got a hydrant right in front of this building here. Let's see if we can keep this fire small. It's always appreciated. First line on. Okay, there's our county engine 2 and engine 3. They got no hydrant. I know one thing that I was watching all of the mod builders try to come up with was a way to connect engines to engines to use tank water. And as far as I know, from what I've read, and I stopped reading last year, the game just can't do it. You can do water tender to engine, but engine to engine, not going to happen. And because the new version of this game was so much different, we may never know that answer. But that's okay. We will work around it. But I got to tell you, the volunteers are getting work today. I hope they didn't have anything else going on in their day, because we're going to keep them at the fire station as long as we can. I know when I first started playing this, and I was getting 5-10 minutes worth of play. It took me a couple of times before I realized that, hey, you know, the volunteers actually carry equipment on the fire engines that can open those car doors too. You don't necessarily always have to call the county out for everything. It's nice to have them out. This is a single vehicle, which is not so bad, but you know, I didn't give the volunteers for, I think it's Mona Rita. It's very small writing, so I'm not going to try to really do it, but the volunteer fire department, I didn't give them enough credit for having the equipment they need to do their job. That was my fault. I should know better, considering I ran one for a while. So I don't think he's going to do anything other than watch. I didn't realize the engine was going to be that much slower, but that's okay. We don't think what we need more than anything else. I see him coming. That's the upside. I hear them coming now. There they are. Nice. Okay. With 4 guys, we got more than enough people to deal with this. I don't know why I didn't ever think about looking for shears before. I mean, it's not like we have a ton of fire engines to go dealing with. We'll get this going. It would be nice if they had a first aid bag. You know, that would be way cool. But like I said, you can only do so much to a game like this before it does things to teach you that you can't do everything you want to do. Okay. Our ambulance is already here. Obviously the patient was more critical. So I need about 3 hands with mice in them to get everything rolling at the same time. One thing I don't think I've had the incident of yet is a need for the helicopter. But if this thing plays the way it's playing right now, I hope we get an opportunity to do that downstream. So let's, I remembered to get the spine board out. What is going on? Get that board on there, dude. Alright, there she is. Okay. Alright, well, I will apologize for the way I push the buttons in, because that's not what I thought about. Although we can say in this particular deal that he moved the patient away from the vehicle because it was in need. And I'm going to stick with that explanation. And of course, overlapping calls in a little volunteer fire department. Can you ask for any more than that? Well, the fire guys have actually done their work, so wow, that's like right behind them. Get the county's rig out. And like I said, that tender, if this thing actually gets updated, I would be ecstatic if they gave the county fire department here its own water tender. That would be awesome. But I'm happy with whatever they do, because I actually dabbed into updating and making mods. I started doing the, just changing the color of vehicles and doing different looks for them and everything, which is actually the easiest thing to do when you start really getting into it. And I realized that really doing a mod from start to finish is amazingly difficult. Amazingly difficult. And so I chickened out, kind of, sort of. The game was not made originally to mod. It's just that some of it was done in XML language, which allowed you to kind of get that done. And so a lot of people took advantage of that to create some unbelievable mods like this one and make a game that plays pretty good, considering we were so hopeful that the next version of this game was just going to build on that and make something that was just amazing. And sadly, that didn't occur, at least not that I'm aware of. I apologize for that. I'm just trying to get Engine 2 unstaffed. The fastest way is to just cancel them and they'll go home. So we've done pretty good today. They've had a busy day. We don't have traffic jams, which are the side of this in many games that can irritate you if you got a lot of stuff going and there's cars everywhere. But this is the best game I think I've played, and I'm ecstatic that I got it on video so that you guys can see it too. You may not be as excited as I am, but hey, you get to a point where you're just happy to take what you can get, and then you get something like this where we're in the 20 plus minutes, probably 25 minutes. We've had multiple calls. Our volunteers have responded appropriately. So 7 calls. I'm amazed with that. The vehicles aren't driving crazy and driving off the map or going somewhere. Although I didn't mean to do that. That's what happens when you lean on the button the wrong way. However, it does help that he can step out and get an ambulance rolling from wherever he's at. The CAS ambulance is the local guys, and I like to use them whenever possible because you're not being charged for them. It just depends on what else you got going. Get him reset. If you guys know another way of setting the engine, resetting the vehicles and parking other than kind of responding and stopping, you know, kind of like being canceled, let me know. This is the way I've always done it. Trust me, that's not how it works in real life, but I'll take what I can get. All right. Quick response from CAS. I don't know, I can't remember what that stands for immediately, but I will memorize it for the next video, that's for sure, because like I said, with the kind of play that we're getting right this minute, and I'm trying to remind myself to check the roster of the call so I remember that backboard. It's not needed on this call. So let my paramedic check this patient out. Not too bad, but we are in the country, if you will. Out in sticks, if you're from that part of the area, that may be what you say, or half a dozen, depends on where you are in the United States, how you discuss where you live. And so, but doing pretty good for a small fire department with 4 guys and a chief officer to keep everything fairly small. I'm sure there's something waiting for me to mash me into the ground as far as the size of the incident, but you know, so far so good. You know, I'm, like I said, we're not even having the usual issues with the game just slowing down in general, even though it's still playable. We didn't even gotten a lot of rain, for crying out loud. I got everything I could ask for today on this. How much more could you ask for? So it's getting dark. Hopefully that means people will come home, give us better staffing on the apparatus. And we'll kind of go from there.
Medical emergency. Someone has suffered a severe heart attack. Treat and take the victim away.
Let's go one more, huh? I think we're at 9 calls. I believe that's what I saw. I know I could pull it up more, but I like seeing everything. And after playing the busier mods, I got to remind myself. But like I said, this is one of the few that I don't even have the thought process of trying to see. We're getting a little bit of lag now, which is okay. It's still playable. All right, where did the guy go? He was right there by the car door, and now he's not. Disappearing police officer. I swear I saw him right there. My eyes are playing tricks on me. That's okay. It's an EMS call, and these guys are already here. But what I think I'm going to do is they treat their patient, and we load and go. I could have said 10. I wish I'd have. We'll call it with a big smile on our face. There he is. He was at the front. Now I see him. How I didn't see that before, one isn't the first person I've actually lost in a game, so he needs a little more work though. But we'll call it, because if it's 30 minutes, that's a pretty long video. And while I know you guys like this game as much as I do, 30 minutes is long. So with a big silly grin on my face, I say thanks for coming by and checking out this video. Please like this. This is the first time I've made this thing work this well for anybody, including myself. Comment and subscribe. I appreciate everything you do for me, and all it does is tell me to keep going and keep going and keep going. And with that, I wish you a great day, and I know I'll see you, as I've said a million times, I'll see you soon. So take care.